Bismillah
Assalamu
ar-Rahman.
alaikum, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum
Assalamualaikum,
assalam.
sir.
Dear students, I hope that all of you are fine and studying at home and giving a proper time to your studies. You know that last time actually we had some discussion about careers in computer science and information technology. And I had given you one short assignment to find out some latest and demanding professions which are related to ICT computer science. Only two students have submitted, only two, Iman Abed and Fatma Zehra. What about the rest of the students? Why they did not give the answer by doing some research? It was basically a research work that you need to do some research over the internet that what are the different professions in demand for computer science and ICT, so that you must have some knowledge, because being students of grade 9 you are supposed to set some goal for your future. So this thing is very important for us, and I am waiting for the response from all the students. Okay, so I think that those who have not given the response, they are going to give me response for this assignment. I need response from all the students for this assignment. Then another assignment was given to you. Okay, it was basically a written work. Differentiate first generation of computer with second generation of computers. And I had given you this task, but I can see over here five students: Iman Abed, Fatma Zehra, and Abdul Hadi, and Malik Masab. Although they have written answers, but what about the rest of the students? Why they are not giving the answers? And keep yourself please muted by yourself, by your side. And when you need to talk, then you will raise the hand and then you can unmute yourself. Okay, so we check over here the responses of one or two students. You know, whenever there is any question of differentiate, I would like to tell you one important thing. Whenever there is the question of differentiate, you are always supposed to draw a line and then write point by point. For example, year, tenure. So first, the tenure of first generation is from this year to this year. Tenure of second generation is from this year to this year. Point wise, by drawing a line, although your answer is correct over here, but I am telling you that how you are going to solve in the paper. So this thing is very important, very very important. So let me check that all these students are doing the same thing, that they are giving answer in the form of paragraph where they are supposed to differentiate. So this is not a proper approach. I am talking about the method of writing answer, giving answer. Okay, so this is not a proper approach. Proper approach will be that approach where you draw a line. Okay, and whenever we have got such kind of thing, for example, if I say that differentiate between first and second generation of computers. So you will always see that such kind of questions are normally asked in tabular form, table of differences. And I had also shared with you one table in my lessons when I explained you this point. So over the internet, you can even find out such kind of answers where you have got the tabular data, and it will be much better approach to write answers. Otherwise your answer, maybe your answer is correct. I'm not saying that the answer is not correct, but the examiner is not going to give you full marks, or examiner is not going to be inspired from you people, that he has written the differences properly. If I come towards my notes, I will be able to show this thing to you in the generations. So all these students, those who have submitted, fine. Those who have not submitted, they will submit in this format, in the tabular format. There are 5 columns, 4 columns, but you will make only 2 columns for first generation and second generation. What is the technology used? What is the speed? What is the size? What is the difference in reliability? Period. From which year to which year? Okay, languages used, operating system used. Whatever the differences are there, you have to write in the tabular form by making 2 columns whenever such kind of question comes. Okay, fine. This thing is clear or not? And when I will check these papers and I will give you the marks, so you will see that your marks. Is there anyone who is taking the class right now on computer system, on laptop or desktop? Please raise the hand. Those who have submitted the assignments from them. When I will return the marks to you, you will be able to see your marks. That is the thing that I want to tell you. So when I will return you the marks, you will be able to see your marks, that these are the marks that the teacher has given to us.
Sir, I have submitted you.
Okay. Okay. So those who have submitted, they will see and they will check that they have got the marks. Okay. And keep in mind that all these rest of these students, they are going to submit, in tabular form. Okay, fine. Now we come towards our work. So last time we had started the professions. Professions are very important, and you know that we had made some discussion is to know your areas of interest, and that's why I asked you that you must set your goals. That what is the field in which you want to go for. Even from the computer science, you need to define the fields in which you are interested. Okay, so we are going to discuss about what are the different types of professions which are available to us, and how we can opt these professions. This is the thing that we need to understand over here. So we start from the very common careers which are there for you. Software engineer. Some students had mentioned this thing as well, that they want to become software engineer. So software engineer is basically a person who develops software, who does programming. There are some different programming tools available. Famous programming tools are there in which you do the programming. So over here, uh, there are a number of tools available. Okay, in which you are going to do programming. You are going to make programs, you are going to code the algorithms which are written. These are basically the duties of a programmer. If you go to Google and if you find out that what are the famous languages today, programming languages used today, so you will be able to see that at the top which language is there. Which language is there at the top? Python. Python is being used nowadays widely. Apart from Python, Java is there. There are a number of tools by Java. C Sharp is there. C++ is there. Other languages are also there. Kotlin, Swift, or languages PHP are also there, which are used today for different purposes. Okay. For desktop application, for web applications, there are different types of languages available. Programming languages used for web applications. If I write over here, so you will see that there are some languages just like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python. These are used for the web applications. If I write over here for desktop applications, desktop applications means when you need to to develop some software, so on desktop you will have to install it. It is not web based. So then these are the languages which are available. If you need to know about the programming languages or tools used for mobile or Android app development. So there are different tools available. You can see over here Android Studio, AVD Manager, Android SDK, Eclipse. These are the tools available for mobile app development. There are a number of tools. So in which these are the tools that you will have to learn in order to become a software engineer. Okay, you can do desktop programming, you can do web programming, you can do mobile app development. All these fields are open for you. When you become a programmer, so then what you are doing, you are basically doing one language. A software developer has a wider scope, but a programmer is normally limited to a specific language that he programs, in which he is going to program. Of course, developer, software engineer, he makes softwares by analyzing, by doing all other relevant work which is relevant to the software engineering process. But programmer only converts algorithm to programs. What is meant by algorithm? We must know over here that algorithm is basically a sketch of the program. It is a sketch of the program. Okay, and then sketch is going to be programmed. For example, if you have got a map of a house and you give to the engineer that build the house on according to this map, so that map is very important for us. The house will be made according to that map. So same thing programmer does, that he gets the algorithm and he converts that algorithm in the code using some language. Okay, so programmer who programs in any particular language. Now, if you are making web page, you know that what is meant by web pages. All these information that we are getting, these are the web pages. This is the URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. So these all websites are web pages. We know about it, that these are basically on the World Wide Web. World Wide Web, you know about the World Wide Web. World Wide Web is basically a collection of web pages which are there on the internet, and then you can access. These are available on different servers. The World Wide Web, commonly known as the web, is an information system where documents and other web resources are identified by URL. By URL. URL means Uniform Resource Locator. I am talking about the URL. This is the URL. This address is called URL. This address is the URL. Such as http.google.com.hotmail.com. These are the URL. And URL will have some other links. In URL, you will see that there are more URLs given over there that you can click and you can open. Okay. These all are further links. So this is basically a network that is called World Wide Web, and over there web pages are there. So how these web pages are developed? These are developed in some language. If you right click on any web page, and if you will see over there view source page, you will see the code behind it. Can you see this code right now? Can you see this code? This is HTML. Okay, you can see over
Yes,
here
sir.
embedded with some other codings. So when we right click on any web page, we go to the view page resource, view page source, we will be able to see that what web page is there and what is the coding behind this page. And of course, it will be secured. You are not able to edit it over here. You don't have the right to do so. So what is this language? This is basically a tag based language. This is called markup language. HTML is basically a markup language. So in HTML, and you know that you have got one portion of HTML in your next class as well, in grade 10 as well. So we develop web pages. As I told you, if we go to web and we find out the languages or tools to develop, because there are some other tools to develop websites. What are the tools available? There are a number of tools, just like Sublime Text, Chrome Developer Tools, jQuery. But we have got the languages like HTML, languages like HTML, CSS, Python. These all are the languages, PHP, which are used for web programming. We are talking about web programming. So these are the tools that we normally used for development of websites. This point is clear now. Now come towards the network administrator. Network administrator is also a very important job. You know that we have got two chapters regarding networks, data communication and networks, and these are very very important chapters. Both chapters are very important. So network administrator is a person who deals with the network. Now what is actually meant by the network? What is actually meant by network? Network is developed inside the organizations. Just like if our school is there, we have got a computer network, you know, we have got a computer network in our senior lab. So computer network, when you will say computer network, you will see that the computer network means connection of computers with each other, and it will have a number of facilities with it. You can see over here in this diagram that when we connect computers, we can share printer, we can share other devices with it. For example, we have got one internet connection, but we are using that internet connection in the complete lab, computer lab. How? Because we have got a network. All the computers are attached, linked with each other, connected with each other. And there are some different strategies. You know, there are some topologies: star topology, bus topology, ring topology. These are the topologies. Topologies means layouts of the network, that how the network will be developed, according to which method network will be developed. So, of course, there would be some person who is dealing with these all things, because there are sometimes technical problems. If there are a number of PCs, it becomes problem to manage it. So there is a person who is managing these all things, who is called network administrator. This point is clear. He will manage. He will install operating system, server operating system on the server, because there is normally one server as well. He will install server operating system on the server machine, client operating system on the client machines, you know, just like this is server, these are the clients. And he will attach printer, and he will see that is there any issue. If there is some computer which is not coming on network, then he will find out the error, he will troubleshoot, and he will do all these relevant jobs. So a network administrator is the person designated in an organization whose responsibility includes maintaining computer infrastructure with emphasis on networking, means connection between them. Responsibilities may vary between organization to organization. If you will go and Google it, you know why I show you, because I don't want to give you the bookish answers which are given in your book. You can read from there. These are simple answers. If I give you, let's suppose, job description of a network administrator, what does the network administrator do? What are the responsibilities? What does he do? Or the responsibilities of a network administrator. So you will see that what are the responsibilities of a network administrator: installing and configuring computer network and systems, identifying and solving any problem that arise with computer network and systems, consulting with clients to specify system requirements and design solutions, budgeting the equipment and assembly costs, okay, assembling new systems. All these are the responsibilities of a network administrator. So he will manage all these things. If a new system has come, he will install, he will configure, he will bring that system to the network, he will connect it. Fine, all these things. If there is wireless network, he will also manage that thing as well, that Wi-Fi is working properly, all the computers are able to access the Wi-Fi. All these things are resolved in that way. This thing is clear? I hope so. This thing is clear, and this point is clear.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good. Now we move towards the next point, which is system analyst. This is very important job, and normally this is a high profile job. Every computer student does not become analyst, system analyst. System analyst is a major job, you know. So system analyst is basically a person. A system analyst reviews design components and uses their knowledge and information technology to solve business problems. They identify ways that infrastructure needs to change, streamline business and IT operations. They can also assist technicians in training staff to implement the changes they propose. Now, you know, system analyst is basically a person who is responsible for overall performance of the system. If your organization is going to implement a network with the software, a network infrastructure with the software, all the solution, you know, IT solution. So of course, a system analyst is going to identify all the things what are required to the organization. He will not only be a programmer, no, he will have the programming knowledge as well. He will have the operating system knowledge as well. He will have the system design knowledge as well. He will have all types of knowledge for computer science, and he will have the general knowledge of business as well, business and industry as well. Why? Because he has to make solution for the businesses. Are you getting this point or not? Now see, for example, if I am making a solution for a pharmaceutical company, of course in that situation I have to get the knowledge of pharmaceutical as well. If I'm making a software for bank, of course I need to be very much I need to have very much clear concept about banking, about all the operations which are performed inside the bank. Now see, implements computer systems requirement by defining and analyzing system problems, designing and testing standards and solution. It defines application problems by conferring with clients what is the requirement of the client. He is going to collect information from the client. What do you want to do? For example, if we are making a software, just like take example of university. So we had given the request to the software house that we need a software where the students attendance record should be there, students results should be there, students, you know, personal information, parents information, all these things should be there. So this information was collected from us. We were the client. So system analyst collects the information, and you know, he developed the solution accordingly and manages all the things. If the client does not have the proper hardware, he suggests that what kind of hardware you must have. He provides you all the things. He makes the proper documentation of the software engineering process as well, that what is going on and how we have done these things, all these things. Then of course he will have the knowledge of the languages as well. He will have the knowledge of the, you know, all such kind of things. I am showing you that these are the job descriptions, responsibilities of a system analyst. System analyst is not an ordinary person. System analyst is a person who has deep knowledge of each and everything related to the computers, whether this is hardware, software, operating system, programming languages, all these things. This thing is clear or not? Please give okay. Just give response by thumbs up. No need to open the mic to give the response. By thumbs up, you can give the response about it. Now, come towards the database administrator. Database administrator. Now, this is also very important. You know database. Have you got some knowledge about database? Database is basically, you had 2 chapters in your previous class for MS Access where you develop database tables. Data is stored basically in the form of tables in the databases, you know. So database is basically arrangement of data in tabular form, and the files are linked together. Okay, they have relationships with each other. So a database administrator is a person who organizes the data and keep track of all the data operations. Okay, for example, take example of bank. In bank there are daily basis, there are transactions of amount deposit and amount withdrawal. So the data is being managed on which date, at which time, who deposited data in which account number. and on which date and which time who has withdrawn the data amount from specific account number. Of course, over here the data is referring to that particular amount that you are doing. This thing is clear now. Okay, so if you go and you see over here database, you just write database, you will be able to see that database is basically, it is in the form of rows and columns, tabular information. Database is a structure that stores information. Okay, there are a database, there are a number of database softwares available. Database software list: Microsoft SQL server, MySQL, PostGRE, SQL, MongoDB, Orient, Access. There are a number of databases available, database softwares available, in which we can design databases. So, of course, database designer will be a person who will have the knowledge of these types of database softwares, how to manage database in these softwares. In Oracle, Oracle is a famous database. MySQL, Teradata, FileMaker, these all are the databases which are available. But of course some are there which are famous databases. If we will write over here top 5, so you'll be able to know that these are the top 5 databases available for us. Okay, just like Oracle, SQL Developer, these all are the databases. So a database designer, database administrator is a person who is expert in managing the database, who is expert in managing the database, who is expert in managing storing data, retrieving data. These all images are basically representing you that the data will be stored, in these formats. He will make the entity relationship diagram, and of course the data will be database tables. Let me show you the tables, how the tables are there. These are the database tables. In different organizations the data will be stored in such kind of tables. You can see over here, just like this is an example of the image of the entity relationship diagram. So the person who is responsible for all these operations, he is called database administrator. Now we have got multimedia designer. Who is multimedia designer? Multimedia designer, is a person who designs multimedia, and multimedia are basically the collection of audio, video, text, multimedia software. What are the multimedia software? In which software we design multimedia software? We have got a number of softwares available: 3D Studio Max, Maya. There are a number of softwares available for designing multimedia. You will be able to see over here. Just like I have given you Flash, you had Flash in your previous classes. This is also an animation design. So multimedia means where there will be, video editing. There will be animation editing. All these things are called multimedia, where there is a collection of videos, audio, animations. These are called multimedia. This point is clear, I hope. So you know that there are multimedias used on websites, on web pages. Animations are there. So these kind of things are called multimedia, where we have got animated text, videos, text.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good, no, perfect words.
Okay, let me just mute it until this ad is going to be ended. I wanted to show you some multimedia examples, but there is advertisement going on anyway. So we should move towards the multimedia. So multimedia designers are graphic designers. They have the knowledge of graphics as well, graphics softwares. They have the knowledge of animation software. They have the knowledge of, video editing, filmmaking, editing of the videos, linear editing, post production. All such kind of knowledge is there with that person, and he has the expertise, to design the web pages, video games, cartoons, television promos, movie promos, such kind of things. All these things are designed by the multimedia designer. This point is clear to all the students. Will you please give thumbs up to give me the feedback about it? Okay. Now there is an important job which is called information information security analyst. This is very important thing nowadays. Data security is very important for us. So the person who is responsible for the security of the network, he is called security analyst. Of course, security of data. We are talking about security of data. Now, every organization does not hire security analysts because every organization does not have that much high profile data that someone is going to hack. But those organizations, for them, the data is so much important that if someone hacks, so there will be problem, there will be loss. So they always hire a person who is basically information security analyst who makes it possible that the data should be secured. There should not be any flaw in security. Okay. Information security analyst oversees computer network system to stave off potential security breaches. For example, if someone is trying to hack the system, they maintain systems by updating software and recommending security updates. They install firewalls, they install security softwares on the computer systems. Information security analysts also work on one-on-one with the employees. He guides the employees as well. He will guide the employees that what you should do. You should not tell your password to anyone. You should not leave your password safe. You should not do this thing. You should not do that thing. Okay, so these all are the responsibilities of the information security analyst. This point is clear to all the students? Okay, now these are the responsibilities: monitoring security access, conducting security assessments, performing both internal and external security audits, analyzing security breaches to identify the root cause if there was any security breach. So you will find out what is the problem behind it, why this happened, whose mistake was there. Okay. Now come towards the next point, which is computer hardware engineer. Hardware engineer develop, design, and test computer hardware components for computer and electrical systems. So there is always normally hardware engineer or system support engineer who always perform such type of tasks if there is some problem with the system unit, with some problem with the device. So he is going to troubleshoot. He is going to see if there is any issue with the device. The last job is computer teacher. I don't need to explain this thing. There are lecturers, teachers, professors,
Yes.
in schools, colleges, and universities. So this is basically all about the today's topic. These are the different professions. I hope these all things are clear. If you have got any question, you can ask me right now. Okay, students, so I am going to upload this work in your classroom as well. So today it is 2nd of May